What's going on, everyone? This is Sarge. We're going to be looking at the next Belgian bullpup assault rifle, the F2000, which is making its return to Battlefield 4 Second Assault DLC. And this is for those of you who got the latest patch for PS4 and PC users. Xbox One has had these weapons so far, and I know many of you guys have been excited about this weapon because it caters to a very close to medium range type of gameplay. With 850 rounds per minute and an ammunition capacity of 30 rounds, we have a weapon that's going to decimate its target in a very short amount of time, and you're going to have to constantly reload your magazine, but in the recourse you're going to get off a lot of rounds exchanging bullets with your enemy and assure you the kill, especially the closer they are to you. To unlock the bullpup, you do have to perform a series of assignments called the Express Train, which is 1 assault rifle ribbon, 2 kill assists ribbons, and 10 kills in Operation Metro. There are some prerequisites, being level 10 and having the Second Assault DLC, that are required to unlocking the weapon as well. The F2000 does share the same damage as most of the assault rifles in the game, with an exception to the Scar H. Then there's the first shot recoil that is the same as the AEK at 3.0 times, just to give you guys an estimate of how this weapon does handle in the game. And you'll notice that the optics also is unique to the weapon, as there are no other designed weapons that have special optics, just only the F2000. And in this case, you can still swap out the other ones that are available, but when you get the weapon at first hand, you'll have this one to use. And you'll notice that the bullets itself don't actually line up with the crosshair, and I believe that might be an issue with the weapon. So shooting at your targets from longer distances, they will be veering off slightly to the left, and so that might be a bug. That might be something that they'll have to fix in the later patch. The other issue I see with the weapon is that you don't have that fast strafe speed that you do when you're aiming down the sight, being that the weapon itself is a bullpup. It should have that, and that might be something is fixed as well. But in general, I think looking back at the weapon, going all the way back to Battlefield 2, is that the design has always been around that medium close quarter engagements to deliver in those situations, and it's going to be the same case here. And so I think a lot of you guys who prefer the domination, team deathmatch, or Operation Lock or Metro type of maps are going to pick this weapon right up and fall in love with it. Any of you who like the AEK or the FAMAS or the L85A2 will find this one just as comfortable, just as easy to use as those weapons. And I think in general, the F2000 has had its fair share in the series, even though it's been predominantly in the game since Battlefield 2. There hasn't been a lot of people adopting the weapon as a favorite because there's a lot of different types of assault rifles you can use in the game. More or less, people tend to go for the ones that cater to all play styles instead of just specifically the close quarter engagements. And so Battlefield 3, we saw a lot of that come back to the game, or at least be brand new to the series when it comes to maps that are very close quarter engagements, especially with the DLC called Close Quarters. There have been weapons that have been designed by DICE or have been implemented in the game that have catered to that, and I think the rise of the F2000 have been a favorite amongst the community because of that. So there's a lot of different type of game modes, such as the Domination and TDM, allowing for this weapon to have its fair share in the series. And even though I haven't used the F2000, or at least favorited the weapon over the assault rifles that have been available throughout the series, it's still one of those type of weapons that have a unique look to it. The model itself is something out of the future, almost like 2142. You can see that guy trying to knife me there. The cool, sleek design of the model have always been one that I've always returned to because of that. I think the cult following of the F2000 is small, but it's definitely growing. I think in Battlefield 4 we're going to start to see a lot of people pick this weapon up because there's more different playstyles you can use now. It's not just huge sandbox maps anymore. There's also very close quarter, tight-knit gameplays, and there's a select amount of rifles that cater to that, this being one of them. So if we look at the stats of the F2000, we'll see it has a vertical and horizontal of 0.4 to 0.5. Then there's the overall recoil at 0.24, and then that's actually an upgrade from the BF3 version, which is a slight upgrade, but so that might be a big plus for those of you who favorited the F2000 in the previous game. Furtherly, the F2000 has 850 rounds per minute, which puts this right in between the L85A2 and the AEK, a muzzle velocity of 600 and a mag size of 30+1. So we can see that the stats are identical to the Battlefield 3 version. The only difference is that slightly change into the recoil of using this weapon. So that might fluctuate how you may use the attachments, but it's not a big difference. I don't think if any of you guys who have loved using this weapon in Battlefield 3 will see any significant changes in the BF4 version as well. Aside from the bugs that come with the F2000, the other thing I really don't like is the sound design, and I think that might be the case with a lot of the sounds in the game of Battlefield 4. It just doesn't have that realistic type of sound to it. It almost sounds like you're firing from a plastic container or like a cheap airsoft $9 version from Walmart of the weapon. So that might be my opinion. It's strictly my opinion, but obviously there might be not the case for you. But yeah, I don't like the sound. The bugs are an issue with the weapon itself. Nonetheless, the F2000 does deliver, and I think what separates this weapon from the other assault rifles that are also built around the same playstyle, such as the AEK or the L85A2, is that it has the least amount of spread while moving, making this one the more aggressive choice over the assault rifles. And I think the only one that has the same stats when it comes to bullet spread while moving is the FAMAS. And so those are the two weapons that you would want to juggle when it comes to playing aggressive playstyle. And you'll see in this clip here, I'm trying to burst fire this guy at a distance, and I'm not actually getting the kill. At least it takes a while for me to get the kill. And you'll know that right off the back that this weapon is not catered to that long range gameplay. So for bigger maps such as Gulf of Oman or the Golmud Railway, you're probably not going to want to choose this one. The FAMAS and the F2000 are in the same category when it comes to aggressive gameplay, such as like the Scout Elite, which caters to specifically an aggressive recon. This weapon is going to cater to that person who likes to use an assault rifle to be in the face of their enemies and have that advantage. And so the only difference with this one compared to the FAMAS is that you have more bullets per magazine. So that might make a decision factor in choosing this one over the FAMAS. In general, they're both great weapons. The F2000 is an awesome one to use. I love the design. I like that futuristic look and that special optics that comes along with it. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video, including the gameplay. And subscribe if you want to see some more Battlefield 4 videos on my channel. And I'll catch you guys later. Take care.